Right then everyone, just to show you the latest on the BEV Control Box. I've had a sort of a dry run at assembly. I've got to do this so I can plan, because the next thing I'm going to do is make the loom that goes inside the control box, and obviously I need to measure everything and get everything in the right place. This isn't the final assembly. I haven't used one of the new switches, and I've discovered a few more problems that I've got to address. And what I'll do is I'll zoom in on the particular problems and talk you through them. Right, I've found that the deadman's handle doesn't always work the switch. If I push it down, you hear there's no click, but I've noticed that the top is very worn, and if you push it like that, which rocks it, then push it down, it clicks. So the bushing inside here is very worn, so I'm going to have a go at making a new one of those. Then you won't have to put your hand on there to push it down to make it click. What that click does is start the first bit of the energization of the main switch. Right, following on from finding out that that bush is very worn, you can now see that I've got it now, so it clicks every time you push it down. There is a control pin that pushes the lever that works the switch. Here is the lever, and you can just see the pin coming down from the top, and then the actuator working against the spring to click the switch. I have here the original one that was in it when I took it apart. It's made out of a piece of old bolt. I wasn't happy with that, so I had made one to the correct specification, which is 1 1/8 inches. This is 1 3/8 inches long. You saw it earlier not working with the correct length rod in. Obviously this one had been put in place to counteract that problem. But I'll just show you a little bit of video going back to when I was initially testing it, and you'll see the problem with it at 1 3/8 inches. I've solved it by making a pin that's 1 1/4 inches long, as opposed to the 1 1/8 inches original specification. If you look, it's working perfectly, hitting the stop at the bottom and working the switch, but not bending the switch bracket. I have a couple of things to sort out here as well. I've got to make a bracket to hold the fuse box about there. I have to drill the case to fit the dropper resistor. I think it's a replacement resistor, and the style of bracket that it sits upon is different to the original. Don't really know what's gone on, but yeah, I've got to do that. It'll just be a little hole drilled in the case and tapped like these two. Could they have been the original position for it? But they're too close together to fit that type of bracket, so I'm going to utilize those to make a bracket to hold the fuse box. And I've also got a problem down here, and I don't know whether you can see, but I've got a sheared off bolt just here. That bolt holds the battery condition gauge bracket. It was only held on by one bolt before, but I'm going to drill that out and re-tap that on this side. So they're the jobs I've got to do, but none of that is going to stop me making up the loom. That's my next job. My order from Vehicle Wiring Products has arrived. I've got all the new coloured cables, the battery condition gauge, a little fuse box, and a whole load of connectors and terminals, and that will allow me to make up the loom to the wiring diagram that I created late last year.